Hey guys, just near JHart Modelworks coming to you with a bit of a bench update type video. We've had a lot going on and it's been really a hectic couple of weekends and I've got almost no building done. I've started with the plane a little bit. I've got a little bit of progress on that. We'll probably talk about that towards the end of the video. We have a couple of shop cards. One I just got in this afternoon. Another one I've been sitting on for about 2 weeks. Like I said, it's just been really hectic. I've been packing up, going to shows, doing all the paperwork for shows. I've had a bunch of doctor's appointment stuff going on, and just it's been a lot. So let's start on the shop cards. The first shop card we have comes from Clint over at Scaled Innovations. Great shop card, Clint. Really like the picture on it, and thank you for the words on the back. I appreciate them very much. So Clint has a small channel. He's just starting his channel out. He's got about 100 and something subscribers, like 120 something. So if you would please go click the link down in the description below and check his channel out. He's got some great stuff going on. He's got a 69 Camaro he's working on. He's putting on a 3D printed wide body kit from Black Box STL. I believe he's doing the 3D printing himself. So that's just some really cool stuff going on. He's definitely going to be a channel to keep an eye on. And it looks like it's going to be a really cool project. He's got a few others up there and some, what did you buy Wednesday type videos as well. So go ahead and give Clint a check out. Our next shop card comes to us from Bill at Welcome to the Model Car Room. Awesome shop card, Bill. Love that hot rod. He also sent us a really sleek chop top business card here. Absolutely gorgeous. Bill's builds are fantastic from what I've seen. He again has a very small channel. Not very many videos are up yet. I think he may have had a channel up in the past. I'm not entirely certain. That could be someone else I'm thinking of. But Bill has been building since the 50s. He's one of those guys who really knows his stuff. He's got a bunch of different stuff on his channel for the videos that he does have. He's got some What Did You Buy Wednesdays where he's talking about some tools that he's going through and some really cool stuff tool-wise that he's picking up. He's got the Display Sander. He's got a small little mini review on that. He's also picked up a fiberglass scratching pencil for, it's kind of like a sanding stick, but it's like straight down and it's like a pencil. I think Charlie Mack did a video on that as well. I've picked one up. The one I have is much smaller. It's got a really small tip on it. I've played with it a little, not much. I've gotten some fiberglass embedded in my finger and had to pick that out with some tweezers. That wear gloves if you get one of these things. Other than that, he's got a couple of tutorials on sectioning a roof. Fantastic tutorials on sectioning the roof. Those guys who are into that sort of thing, that nice chopped roof, getting them real low and getting them, spaced out so that all the parts line up properly. Fantastic video. You should definitely check that out. Again, he will be down in the description below. He's got some beautiful builds on there. He's got one-to-one car show stuff up there as well. Some great inspirational stuff. So that's going to wrap up our shop card shout outs. Again, both of those guys, their links will be down in the description below. Give them a check out, give them a sub. I would greatly appreciate it. Next, we're going to talk about the shows, because I've been to 2 shows, 2 weekends back to back. I don't know how my brothers Gary and Diedrich do it. Those guys go to shows all the time. They'll go just a string every weekend. They're going to model shows all over the place. They'll go to different states. I'm wore out after just 2 shows. Last week we were at the MCMA Showdown. The week before that we went to RiverCon in Louisiana. All right, so let's start with the RiverCon show. Wife and I went down. It was absolutely fantastic. We stayed at the Remington Hotel, which was really cool. It's an IPMS show. It's a pretty typical IPMS show. Very heavy on the military stuff. It was at a university that's there. I forget. I want to say it's Louisiana State. I'm not entirely certain. but it was in the student union, which is a big 2-story building, and things were in different rooms. So the dioramas were over in one room, cars would be over here in another room, planes took up 2 rooms because IPMS is all about planes. Tanks had a room. There was a section of the theater where they were doing the raffles. All the vendors were downstairs. It was a really cool show. I didn't really get footage on that one. I'll be honest with you, carrying everything all the way in and then up and then getting everything set up, I was just tired and I just didn't want to film. But had a blast. It was a great show. Got some good feedback. I didn't try to be argumentative. I may have been a little bit argumentative, but I wasn't trying to argue with the feedback so much as explain why I did what I did. And a lot of the feedback had to do with paint. And my paint is not perfect. But there was some discussion about the dust nibs. And when you get dust in 2K clear, you kind of need to sand it away. But there gets to be a point where you start running the risk of sanding through the clear coat and damaging the paint job. And if I have a really nice paint job, but I have a few dust nibs, I'm just not willing to sand, I'm just not willing to run the risk of sanding through and damaging that paint. Especially seeing as I do a lot of candy paint jobs, and you can't really repair candy paint jobs. There's guys who can. I can't. There probably are guys who can, but that is a nightmare trying to color match, especially trying to color match candy that's already been cleared. It's an absolute pain. So I don't feel comfortable risking it. So I will leave like a small little divot. I'll sand as much as I can to the point that I'm not comfortable. If I've gone 2 or 3 passes on the sanding, I'm just not going to risk it any further. But that's just me. I took the diorama, and I want to say 8, maybe 9 cars. We came home with 5 awards. The diorama didn't place at all, which I was kind of surprised about. I kind of felt that it could have done better. But see, we took a first with the Ferrari Monza SP2 in the curbside category. We also took a first for the Chevy pickup, the 41 Chevy pickup, the red one, in the truck category. They had trucks set up as trucks, light commercial, and emergency vehicles, I believe, and it took a gold in that category. The Ferrari 360, judges love that Ferrari 360. That car took a silver in Street Machines. And the 69 Mustang took a bronze in Street Machines. And that little 3D printed BAC mono took a bronze in, I believe it was Competition Pavement was the category. We also won something in a raffle. Now, I never win anything in the raffles, but that's usually because I don't buy additional tickets. I only get the one ticket that they give you when you show up at the show. And I dropped it off into the automotive category, and I won the monogram Lamborghini Diablo. Seen a few guys build this kit. I know Frank from Frankie Frizzo's Models has built this kit. He did a really good job. You should go check out Frank's channel. Go check out his build. He did a good job with it. There was a ton of vendors there. Again, a lot of it was military stuff. There were a handful of cars. The cars that were there, a lot of it was AMT stuff. Or old Revell. And that's pretty typical when you go to car shows, especially when you go to car shows here in the US. Most of your car vendors are going to be old AMT and old Revell. Carol and I went out and had lunch. Got to hang out with Gary and Diedrich because they were there. Got to hang out with Bill Koff, Scale by Snacks. He's on Instagram. He's not on YouTube. But Bill is another fantastic model builder. Just absolutely awesome guy. Very inspirational. I love his work. He took a second at that show in the curbside with the Tamiya's new GT3 RS, and that was a really tight race. That was a really fantastic build. Last weekend I went to the MCMA Showdown here in Plano, Texas. It's my local show. You knew I was going. I've been plugging that thing for months. Great bunch of guys. Terry, some of the other guys, just fantastic bunch of guys. Got to hanging out with a bunch of friends again. Diedrich and Gary are always there. Just so many people, a lot of people. David Oth from, I want to say he's from the San Antonio area, came down, came up and over from San Antonio. Guys from Space City Shootdown, the Hams group down there came up. Just a bunch of fantastic builds, just absolutely gorgeous builds on the table there. I have footage. I will probably be turning that footage into like a video and dropping it in like maybe midweek next week if I can. We'll see. This video as it is going to get kind of long. So again, we took the garage diorama. We took about 9 cars, most of the same cars. I switched them up a little bit. Took a couple of cars that I don't normally take, and I took a couple of the stuff out. I did not take any of my trucks, and that's because all 3 of my trucks have been to an MCMA Showdown. I try not to take the same builds over and over, like year after year. I'll take them to different shows in the same year, but if a build has gone to a show, especially if that build has taken a place, I won't bring it. Like I said, we took about 9 cars there. We took 6 plaques home. Now, the garage diorama took first place in the diorama category. The Ferrari 360 Spider, told you, judges love that car. It took a first place in the import and exotic category. In the curbside section, the Ferrari Monza SP2 took a second place. In street machines, the 69 Mustang took a second place. And the 69 Super B, the one that we did as a memorial to Mitchell from Insomnia Hobbies, that one took a third place in street machine. And the Porsche 356 Cabrio, the one I did a buddy build with Sean from the Scale Model Car Guy channel, where I did the custom wide body kit on it that had really aggravated some purists. That took a third in the import and exotic category as well. So that's a wrap for the shows. Again, fantastic. Both those shows were great shows, had a lot of fun. So that's a wrap for the shows. Again, we had a blast at both shows. Both were great shows. Next year when they come around, if you're in the area, I definitely recommend both of those shows. You will have a blast at them. From the shows, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on. Let's talk about some of my medical stuff that's been going on. Some of you guys are wanting to keep up with what's been going on with my heart. My cardiologist wanted to do a stress echo sonogram, which was, at least they didn't do the chemical one. The chemical one I heard is kind of brutal. But they needed to put an IV in me so they could put some stuff in me so they could get an easier time doing the sonogram with the little wand. If you guys have ever been with your wife to a sonogram, it's the exact same thing. They put that little wand on there. They're doing that to my heart. And after that, still with an IV on, they had me get on a treadmill and run for like 6 or 7 minutes to get my heart up over 140. And then I had to get back on the table where they could do that same sonogram again, and they wanted to see the difference between my heart in a resting state and my heart under stress. And they said it was fantastic. It's doing really good. They're checking to make sure that the chambers are squeezing properly, and they said that my heart is looking fantastic from that standpoint. So that's a good thing. Had to follow up with the cardiologist, and he's like, that's looking fine. Go do your ablation. and we'll follow up in about 4 months, I think is what he said. Then yesterday I had to do a CT scan with contrast. They're doing vein mapping on me. They want to know exactly where all my veins are going from the groin up to the heart so that they can plot the path to get up there, as well as the veins that they're going to do the ablation on, because the atrial fibrillation, from what I understand, unlike the Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome, which is triggered by the actual electrical pathway for the pulse to beat, the atrial fibrillation, which is what I'm dealing with right now, is being triggered by some veins that enter the heart, and they need to do something with a section of those that will cause them to stop triggering the fluttering that's going on up here. So that went pretty well. That was really simple. Thank goodness it wasn't an MRI, because I'm kind of claustrophobic and I have serious issues with MRIs. But that is done and over with. That's expensive too. Nearly $1,400 after insurance. On the 10th, I have my cardiac ablation surgery. Before they do that, they're going to do the tracheal echo endocardiogram. The same thing they were going to do before when I was supposed to do the cardio version. They were going to shock my heart, but they didn't end up doing that because I was already back into rhythm. So they're going to go down my throat with a scope, and they're going to take pictures of my heart from inside the chest cavity so they can get past all the bone and muscle tissue and get really clear pictures of the heart. Make sure there isn't any blockages or anything before they do the surgery. Then they're going to go up and do the actual ablation. That's going to be where they're going to go in through the main arteries in my groin and come up to the heart and burn off what they need to burn off. The TEE is going to be another $1,300, and I think another $25 for the surgery, and that may just be the hospital's costs. I don't know. A lot of money. But we're hopefully almost done with the heart issues, and I will be so happy to be through with all of this. A lot of times I feel good. Every now and then I feel like absolute crap, and I'm just over it. I feel tired. When I start having problems, I can kind of tell when I'm going into AFib, because I just feel wore out, just completely wore out, often for no reason. Just be sitting at my desk and suddenly I'm just out of it. So just really tired, hard to breathe, chest gets really tight, almost like an anxiety attack type thing. So ready to be over that. So that is an update on the heart. We're going to go ahead and switch the camera around, and we're going to do recording for some of the update on the airplane, because I have a few pieces to show you, kind of let you see what we've got going on and get you an update on that, because I know I talked about it. You know, we did the unboxing, I said I'm going to build it, and then you guys haven't seen anything on it since, and it's been a couple of weeks because I've been going to shows. So I figured I would show you what we've got going on. Alright guys, quick update on our engine build here. This is the base of the engine. It's basically just two parts. I did put a little bit of a copper highlight here on these. I think these are pipes of some sort. They might be spark plugs. I'm not entirely certain. And then we have the upper portion of the engine, which I kind of did in two different grays. There's Timmy's metallic gray, and then there's gray marker at the lower side here. That just sits down. There's a little plastic pin that goes inside there. But that's going to sit together about like that. And then your propeller will just sit on the top. So that covers the engine. We have our cockpit, which basically didn't really know what I wanted to do. Joe helped me out, asked me some questions, and told me that I needed to paint the tops of these black. Everything else is going to be green, as well as the inside of the plane itself should be green when I get to that. Mechanical penciled all the little buttons and stuff. I add a little bit of extra little white dots here and there, just to add some extra chatter, some labels, stuff like that. And then I added some dark gray Tamiya panel liner to the surfaces just to make them a little less clean. And, you know, just kind of give it some surface differentiation and whatnot. But I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. The seat belts are from Kit's World. They do kind of a 3D printed decal, something similar to Quinta Studios, but it's just the seat belts. So those look really good. And we get our dashboard. So the little decal that has the bezels on it actually also has the white in there for all the instruments. Come on, camera, focus. And then after I got that decal down and everything dried up, I added some Bondic in there just to give those a bit of a rounded, kind of a curved dome surface. A lot of guys will put clear in here for these. And the problem I find with using clear is as the clear dries, it sinks in, but it sticks to the outside edges. So that gives you a dished look instead of giving you that kind of domed appearance. Again, these controls down here just got some mechanical pencil love and kind of detailed those up a little bit. I think that turned out pretty good as well. There were a couple of panel lines that were kind of shallow, and so I tried to deepen them like I would a car, and then that resulted in me ending up having to deepen all of the panel lines. And there's a lot of panel lines. There's so many panel lines because it just looked bad with just having a few of them deepened. So we did have to go through and redo all the panel lines. And we have done our wing assembly. Now these are painted with some Alclad steel in there. I then masked these off with some Tamiya tape so that when I go to paint these, I won't paint over that. And then this, after we get the... So we'll take this apart to get our cockpit in place. And then after that, this just drops into place like that. We'll glue that into place. And then we will be... Oh, the engine needs to go in here as well. And then we'll be ready to start painting up the body. Not sure how far I'm going to get with that. I think I'm probably about to start doing the unboxing for my buddy build with Kyle from Arcady Speedworks. We are going to be doing Lamborghinis. So I kind of want to have like two projects going at the same time, especially seeing as this is all going to be updates. We're not going to be doing build series videos for a little while. Just with everything going on, I don't really have a whole lot of time for editing. And I think that it'll just be easier on me, especially with my heart surgery and my just general lack of time and everything, if I just do some updates for a while. Alright guys, so that's going to be a wrap for this video. Like I said, the plans are to get a little bit more work done on this plane, get the MCMA showdown footage edited down and get a video out on that, and probably get an unboxing going for you. So thanks for hanging out with me. I always appreciate you watching the videos, and I will catch you on the next one.